Good evening, everyone. Mr. Umair, please start your lecture now, and it's already 35 minutes.
Okay. Good evening to everyone. Hope everyone of you is fine. So, in the last exercise, we have some questions in the WeChat group. I have answered for efficiency, and Mr. Hamza had asked that last day we discussed some slides of durations. He has some questions from that slide. Let me share the screen. So Mr. Hamza is asking that in that slides there is he want that what is the difference between fixed unit and fixed unit per time. So in this slide we are explaining that when we choose this fixed unit type, even if we add the resources, the overall unit remains same. For example, it is the example here we have for fixed unit. We have 100 units, 10 days duration, and one resource with 10 hours per day. We add another resource. What happens? Overall unit remain fixed. It remains fixed up to 100, but it decreases the duration. So this is fixed unit. And what is fixed unit per time? In fixed unit per time, we have same example. Total units are 100, duration is 10, and 30 unit is 10 per day. What happens when we add another source? Again, he keeps the total as 100 and he decreases the duration. So he says the output is same. What is the result? What is the difference between both of them? So I just have one more slide to explain the difference. What is the difference? So in fixed unit, if we add another resource, what happens? It decreases its duration. But if we increase the duration to 10, he will not change the total units because units are fixed. So what he will do? He will decrease the unit per time in that case. So that's why this is the difference. But in fixed unit per time, if we add another resource and we increase the duration, what will happen? Its fixed unit per time is fixed, so he will not decrease the unit. This time he will increase the total units up to 200 from 100. Because in the same duration, now we have had two resources which have the fixed unit per time ratio. So what will happen? We will now achieve 200 units in the same duration. So this is the difference between both of them. I hope now it is clear to you, Mr. Hamza.
Yes, clear. Thank you.
Okay. There was one more question in the presentation. I have shared the screenshot for that questions. That last day we unchecked the option of recalculation of actuals when we have the activity duration type as duration. When we have activity percentage type as duration. So I have shared the presentation for that. I just explained it here. So there are 4 activities which we have added. Why we uncheck that there? Because here we have selected activity percentage, duration percentage type, and when we enter the progress here, we have entered 50% progress against this activity. So this activity has total 6 days. It has remaining 3 days. But when it will also calculate the actual units and remaining units here. So he has calculated out of 100, now we have achieved 50 units. But in actual, we all know that on the planning side, we all know that the activity percentage and its unit consumption is not 100% going parallel. So in some activities, when we have our duration percentage complete up to 50%, the unit consumed might be higher or less than 50%. So what we have to do, we have to adjust this actual amount on physical basis. So we adjusted that after the 50% duration. What is the command for voice? Cannot you listen clearly? Hello. Is it clear, Ruslan, now?
Yes, now it's clear.
Okay, good. I was explaining, so when we have 50% of the activity percentage on the basis of duration, actual units we have achieved might be less or more than 50%. So what we have to do, we have to adjust it on the actual basis, how on the site we have achieved. So I say that when I have 50% duration complete, I have achieved the 70 units. No, if I do not uncheck that, what will happen when again I update the progress? I update that no, my progress is 60%. He will override the value which I have entered, and again he will set it at 60%. So this is the reason, that's why we uncheck that while we are creating a project. So now we will move on for today's. Last day we created a project in P6. I hope everyone has done it the same in P6. So today first we will start our exercise, and then we will move on. After exercise we will go to the presentation. So in our exercise 7 we will have to make the WBS, work breakdown structure. We will open the project. I hope every one of you is clear up to exercise 6. So today first we will start exercise 7, and what we have to do, we have to create the project. We have to create the WBS. So we will open our project, and in project we will click on project and we will go to WBS tab. So here is this WBS tab. When we click on the WBS, this window will open. Here we will create our WBS structure of our project. So in the exercise we have given a table, and we will make our WBS structure as per this table. In WBS, I will just explain you some. From here, from this bar, we can add a WBS. This is the command bar. And we have discussed this. This is the command bar. This is activity bar, and this is the directory bar. From this command bar, this tab is to add the WBS. This is to delete it. And one major is this navigation bar. This arrows up, down, left, right. So from this we will create our WBS. So I will add a WBS node. On first, it is milestone. Again, I will add next one. No, you see in the exercise, there is WBS path are given. This is on the first, this is second path. So I will move it to here on the same. And what is it? It's Journal Civil Work Zone 1. Next one is in 2.1. Pipe racks and sleeper foundation. From this, you see if this is basically the navigation part of WBS. Now it has come on node 3, where it is its position is 2.1.1. I will click on this arrow and bring it to its position. Civil. After civil, we have 2.2 equipment foundation. So next node is at up to 3. So I will bring it to 3. Next is our process zone, zone 2. And in zone 2 further, we will go to 3.1 process zone. Process main pipe rack, Z2A1. You people also check with the exercise. If there is some typing error, please tell me. Next is 3.1.1, and from here we will have mechanical. Next is 3.2. At 3.2, we have common area. It's Z2A2. To 3.2.1 is mechanical. And 3.2.2 is electrical. So this is the OBS structure which we are going to use for our exercise project. So in this OBS structure, basically I have divided my structure into 2 zones, and then further these 2 zones are divided into 2 areas, and then into the disciplines. So we have discussed the WBS structure yesterday in our presentation. This is its example, its implementation. Every project can have a different WBS structure, and even if there are 4 planning engineers which are going to make a schedule for one project, everyone might make a different WBS for one project. Its own understanding how much he break down his work. For one area, like we have a PV plant in which we have to install the PV modules, and we have to make a substation. Someone divide the PV plant area into 4 zones, and someone divide into 2 zones. depending on his understanding and how he's going to plan the work after it. So after creating the project, WBS making is our first priority. So first we will make the WBS. Now we have made this WBS. No, there is some bars, some tabs which we are also going to discuss with it. This tab, if you can see the cursor here, this tab, this is group and sort tab. What is its purpose? It will help you to show to able to make activities look as you want. There is many options how you want your activities to be grouped and sort. So after making the WBS, we will click here on group and sort tab. So here is some options which we can select. So we will select from here. We will select that we represent our activities as per their WBS basis. So we will select WBS from here. And we will check here, hide if empty. This is an option that if there are some WBS which do not have activities, you can hide them. Otherwise, if you do not want to check this, it's your own will. This option is helpful if you do not want to show the activities WBS which do have no activities. So we will check it here and we will apply and OK. Sorry, currently we have to uncheck this. If we check this, we will not show any WBS because all our WBS are empty. So we will uncheck it. So our WBS is shown like this, which we have just made. So this is our WBS we just created here. First, there are three major heads: milestone, journal civil work zone 1, process zone. So this is our first node of the first node is project. This is our second node of WBS. So what is our third node? Third level. In the third level, this is our third level. First project, second is construction type or milestone and this journal civil work, process zones, and third is zone and areas. This is our zone and areas, pipe rack, slipper foundation, equipment foundations. So this is our third level of WBS. And what this is our next level of WBS, fourth level, in which we go up to the disciplines. So what will be our fifth level of WBS? It will be activities. So in this group and sort tab, when you click here, you have the option to change the colors or font size as per your requirement in your project control plan or your company requirements. So you can change them from here. So on the first level, its color has changed. So if you can change the font size also. This tab is basically used for this purpose. So this is our exercise regarding the WBS. Then our next exercise is activity codes and values. So in this exercise, yesterday we have added some codes. Anyone will tell which codes were they? Whether they were activity codes or project codes?
Project code.
Good. So today we will add the activity codes. Similarly, those project codes were assigned to a project which we created. Now, when we will make activity codes, we will assign the activity codes to our activities. So in the exercise, we have given 5 types of activity codes. So we will again go to enterprise and we will select activity codes. So it is saying no activity codes has been added so far. So we will add it, start it here. There are 3 types of activity codes which you can have: global, EPS, and project. What is the difference between them? Project will be project specified. This is new project, so there is no activity code here. What is if we have EPS? Basically, EPS represents the company, enterprise, our company. So in the company, I am making some activity codes, then in the EPS of my company. Then when I will create another project, I can have the same activity codes from the EPS of my company. So all the activity codes which are made in my company, they will be shown in EPS. What are globals? These are some global already added in the P6, and globals can be used by anyone. So we will select on the project and we will start adding. We will click on modify, and first one is our discipline. This is I am keeping its maximum length as 1 as per exercise, but again I am telling you this is not standard. In some companies they can add the discipline length up to 4. They want to write electrical as ELEC. In this exercise we will write electrical as E only, so I am keeping its length as 1 only. But if you want to write electrical as ELEC, how much length you have to keep? You have to keep 4. If you want to write the project code complete as civil, CIVAL, so you have to keep the maximum length up to 5. So these are your customized settings. These are not some standard settings and will change from project to project. So I have added these 5 activity codes as per exercise. They are shown in exercise also. I will also show you in exercise. These are the WBS structure which we created. This is same as in exercise. Now after this is exercise 7A, in which we have created the activity codes. So I add all these 5 activity codes in the P6 now, as they are given here in the exercise. So after adding it, I will close this tab. Now from here, we will start adding the activities in this activity codes. We will define activity codes here. So first we will go for discipline. And we will add 4 here. In discipline, you can see there are 4 activity codes here. So we will define these 4 codes in P6. So these are the discipline activity codes. After it, I get zone. In zone, I have two activity codes. When we will move further into the next exercises, then I will show you what is the benefit of this activity coding, why we are doing this. So in zone, there are two, and after it, we go to area. In area, we will have 4 activity codes. After activity code, next we will add the CCTR activity codes. There are many here. So we will add all these in our CCTR. CCTR activity is the 5th node of our WBS. we will use not only these codes for filter purpose, we will also can assign cost basic on these activity codes. So for these cost centers, basically every cost center represents the activities where we will be having our cost. So we can assume the cost, we can upload the cost on this cost center basis.
इस मंथ कुछ हुआ है आपको?
So these are our activity codes. And after this, we have to add some activity codes for UM. So this is our exercise to add the activity codes. So as per exercise, we have added all the activity codes. We will use them when we will enter the activities. And what will be their benefits, we will discuss there. So these are the two activities which are doing today. Now, I think we will discuss some from our presentation. So if anyone has any questions up to this, he can ask. Otherwise, we will move forward. In today's presentation, we add the WBS and we added the activity codes. Okay, now we will discuss some from our presentation and then we will move forward. So we have discussed up to this integration of WBS and OBS. Next slide is regarding the creating calendars, which we have already done in P6. So create and assign calendars to each resource and each activity. These calendars define the available work hours in each calendars. We can also specify national holidays, your organizational holidays, project specific work non-work days, and resource vacation days. So we discussed it yesterday that in the calendars we have this option to specify work non-work days as per our public holidays or some organizational holidays. Even we discussed one case that if in some areas we have a lot of rain and in 4 or 5 months we can only work up to 4 hours, how we will do it? So we define a rain calendar for that and we decrease the available hours per day up to 4. And we will assign that calendar to the activities which are affecting by rain months. So every activity need a calendar and it will schedule the activity as per assigned calendar. So after the calendar, there are another activity and another slide. It is regarding adding activity. So after creating the WBS, next activity is to add the activities. So we can add the activity by clicking insert or by clicking the plus sign here. So when we add the activity, there are some things which we have to give the input to the P6. As you have seen today, we have given a lot of input to the P6. So currently what is happening, we are just giving input to P6. We are not having any output so far. So just to get our output, we have to give in required inputs. So these are the, for activity, these are the inputs which we have to give. Activity ID, its name and type of activity, its start finish date, in case of it is milestone activity, step of an activity, relationship between the activities, who is its predecessor, successor. We have discussed predecessor, successor already. The earliest activity is predecessor and later activity is successor. Resource assignment, labor, non-labor, material, activity calendar, constraint, status of activity. So this status we give later when we update the schedule. So these are the input which P6 needs from our side. After this, there is very commonly used terms, level in P6. How many level of scheduling we do in P6? So basically, we can move on up to level 5, 6. There is no hindrance on it, but commonly we are used a P6 up to level 4. So we will discuss it level by level. What is level 1? Level 1 is basically, it is at the stage of pre-bidding stage or bidding stage. You can say it's level 1. In level 1, it is just the top stage. It will show you the milestone activities and their start and finish date. So this is a window for level 1. In level 1 activity of a project, we have only 5 to 6 activities, which shows that these are its major milestone and this is its start date and finish date. Normally, this is discussed at the pre-bidding stage with the client. Client tells you that these are my targets, these are my milestones, and this is your start and finish date for this. You have to complete this project up to this date. So here in this sample project, we have added these 5, 6 milestones. And for example, we have to finish designing up to this date, mobilization this date, procurement, civil, mechanical, electrical startup is this date. This is level 1 plan. After level 1 plan, we go to the level 2 plan. In level 2, we break down our WBS. So we break it into major phases as per geographical distribution or as per discipline distribution. So it can be as per geographic or discipline as per our company practice or our own practice or client requirement. So in the level 2, this is a sample project. So we have divided our project into discipline. So I have a crude area and I have divided it into 3 disciplines. That in this discipline, these are my major activities, and at this state they are going to finish. So this is the level 2 schedule. And normally level 2 schedule is submitted and finalized with client at the bid stage. When we finalize the bid, we finalize the level 2 schedule with client. So on the level 2 schedule, he basically drives the set your milestones and he monitor your progress on this milestone basis. Next level is level 3 base, the level 3 plan. In this level 3 plan, we break all the disciplines into cost centers. So cost center, you know, is our 5th level of WBS. So in level 3, we have to go up to cost center level. Means we have to add the activities in each area and in each WBS for our work. So this is our level 3 plan. In level 3 plan, we have added it into detailed activities for every WBS. That we have added all the zone and areas and their disciplines and their activities. So this is our level 3 plan. Level 4 plan is further breakdown of activities into smaller activities. For example, in level 3 plan, I have in crude area, I have a tank. So I will just add its activity as fabrication of tank and erection of tank. Only 2 activities in level 3 for this tank. But what will happen when I go to level 4? In level 4, I will create it as a separate WBS and I will create all the activities like material shifting, cutting, bending, in fabrication, fit up, welding, then up to erection. I will divide it further into further details. So this is level 4. And when we go to, we will discuss here up to level 4, but I'll just tell you what is level 5. Level 5 only when we further detail it up to the equipment part numbers. This is called level 5. This is normally done on the manufacturing schedules. So for simple wording, I will explain you the levels. Level 1 is your project level. At the project level, what is your milestones, your targets? Level 2 is at the zone and area level. At which area, when you are completing, when you are finishing this area, when you are finishing this area, this is your level 2. Level 3 is detailed that when in this area, when the civil will complete, mechanical will complete, electrical will complete, when you will go to the commissioning. This is level 3. Level 4 is the detail of every equipment. When this equipment is going to fit up, install, and when it is going to commission. This is level 4. So this is the 4 levels which we use in our planning scheduling. Any question about this?
Yes, I have one question. Either these levels are fixed up to 4, or we can use it up to 7, 8, or something like that.
I answer it that there's no hindrance on using level 5, 6, or greater than them. It is depend on your information. Level 4 we go up to equipment. What is level 5? In level 5, in equipment, you know there are different tags in every equipment. So in level 5, you go to the tag numbers. In what is level 6? In level 6, in every tag number, every equipment has many parts. You go to that part number. You plan up to that part. That, for example, I gave you the example of tank fabrication. So in level 4, we just calculate that this is cutting, bending. So what will be its level 5? In level 5, we will have every part. For example, for nozzle, a separate WBS. For tank roof, separate WBS. For tank bottom, separate WBS, and we will plan its activities in separate. Similarly, we can further go to other next levels also, but the common practice is we normally plan up to level 3 or level 4 as per our requirement.
Okay, thank you.
I think, Hamza, can you repeat your question? I cannot see the screen. So, okay, today for this, these are the levels which are normally, it is very commonly used in into use. So you should have a clear idea what is the planning levels. So I gave you a very common example that level 1 is up to project level, in which you just discuss that when this project is going to start, when it is going to finish, what is the major milestones. This is level 1. So normally, basically level 1, most of the project level 1 comes from client side. He tells you that this is my start date, this is my finish date, you have to do this project, this is your scope. Then our bidding work on it, and they produce a level 2 schedule that on this we will finish this area, this area, this area on this date, and this will be our level 2 schedule. After this, when it is finalized, then planning team work deeply on it, and they produce a level 3 schedule, which is goes up to the discipline level, and in which every discipline and every equipment is divided. Every discipline is divided, and then we detail it on every discipline basis. And when we are finishing the work for every discipline in the areas, in every areas, then if there is some criticality or if some client demand, then we go to the level 4. In level 4, we distribute the activities up to the equipment levels. So every equipment level, we tell when we are going to do which different activities, we plan them, and we manage them and control them. So these are the 4 levels. So for today, these are our two exercises, and this is our some planning. If any questions about these levels, you can ask. I think every one of you also clear about this. These are the information which we have to put. We have done some exercises. Remaining of this it is in exercise 8, which we will do tomorrow, and we will enter all these informations in P6. So, all of you
Mr.
now
Umer,
can-
I have a question.
Yes, please, Mr. Sir.
These schedule levels are made differently, or these are just WBS rolled up? When we roll up our WBS, we get like level 1 or level 2. You got my point?
Basically, your WBS level 1 shows WBS levels are something different. You cannot correlate them, but in general terms, WBS level 1 gives the information of level 1 schedule. So at the project
Right.
level, he gives you the start and finish date. Same can be your level 1 schedule, gives you same information. But you see, if you see here, it is the level 1 schedule. It has only one WBS. Level 1 schedule is not in detail. It just has 4 or 5 activities, 4 or 5 major milestones, and they start finish. This is level 1 schedule. So if you
Okay.
say, so this level 1 schedule would be giving you the information that when your project is starting and finishing. Same WBS level 1 gives you the same information. WBS level 1 is on project level. It gives you the same information, but they are both different things. It gives you the same information, but they are different things.
Yes, that's why I ask this.
Okay, it's clear now. Okay, now every one of you, please complete your exercises up to exercise 7A. And I will also share this XZR file in group so that if someone is behind, he can upload that file. I will give you an example how to do it. We go to the first, I just export it. We have exported this file. I will share it in group also. If anyone of you is behind at the end before start of tomorrow's meeting, you can upload this and you can have it in your system. Go to file, click on import. So here you will go to next. This window will come, file name. From here you will select the file name. So click the file you will receive in WeChat. You will receive this file in WeChat, select it, go to next. Here he will ask you where to import this file. Here you have to select this option. Normally it will come when you do not open, you have open project, it will come like this, create new project. You have to select this option, create new project. Then you go here, import. He will ask you where to import this file. So this is our WBS at this is our EPS level at which we have created the project. So select this one, click next and finish. So you will have this file imported and in your system. Like this. Now this is the initial project which I already have. This is one which I just import now. So you can continue your work on this file. So that's all from today's exercise. Please complete your exercise and you can ask in WeChat if you have any question. It will be a good learning for everyone. The more you ask the questions, more everyone will get his concept clear. Anyone has any questions?
Hello, Mr. Umar.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. One question. Just now we are defining the maximum length of the activity code.
Yes.
So why don't just give a higher value to this activity code? Or is there any limitation to this one?
Share my screen. You are asking about these values? Are you asking about them?
Yes.
Yes, yes, I told you that they are not standard. You can change it. When I have here written, I have given discipline, I have given one value. Okay. You see
Yeah.
here for discipline, I have one value. What will happen? Now, if I go to the project, I go to activity codes and I select discipline here. So now I try to write 2. I cannot. It will not take more than 1. Okay.
Yeah.
This is happening. But if I change it, I will click here discipline and from here I will modify it. So discipline I says can go up to 5 and I will close this one. No, for every discipline I can enter more values up to 4 MECHA like this. So you can have it. This is just I gave this value because I have given the same in exercise. You can change it also later on when you are having another project. So these are not standard. They vary from project to project. If you want to write the complete name here, for example, like civil, or you want to write here ELEC for electrical, so you have to give the value of 4. These are not standard. In exercise, we are having just one word for discipline, like S, C, M, and D. So I have given the value 1. You can have it 4 also in some other project. It's not no problem. It's not a standard. It varies from
Okay.
project to project.
All right. Okay. Thank you for explanation.
Welcome. Okay, now we close today's session and we will meet tomorrow, hopefully. And I will also share the presentation. I will also share the presentation in group so that you can have it in advance.
Okay, thank you.
Bye. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.